that y'all are well. Happy Magnetic Monday. Let me send this out. You make sure I got everyone. All right. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Today we're going to have a conversation, okay? A lot of people think that they're distracted when they're really not distracted, they're possessed. And we're going to have a conversation about that today. For those who do not know who I am, well, let me say, I didn't come on last week at all because Sunday, the 17th, I was notified that my father passed away. So my father passed away last Sunday. Not the one that just passed, but the one before that. And so I took a week to just kind of get some things situated within myself, spend some very much needed time with the Most High, and, make some decisions and kind of go over the lessons and the things that I learned from my father while, the time that I had with him. So the Most High giveth and the Most High taketh away. And I understand the cycle and the circle of life. So thank you so much. I understand the way those things work. So I'm good. I'm good in that sense. But today, what I can say is that, and I'll talk about it a little bit down the line, but this just, lit another spark under me for me to make some different decisions. Thank you, lovies. For me to make some decisions and just to kind of pay attention to some things. And I'm always talking to you guys about finality. And finality is the reality of all realities. There's no way to escape things being final, and death is one of those things that is final. But I've learned several lessons in that experience. I'm very grateful for that. And all praises to the Most High. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and get into today's topic, in which today we're going to be talking about, like I said, you're not distracted. A lot of people are possessed. I'm going to talk about how casual content leaks your power and hijacks your authority. So if you're wondering why people can't think for themselves anymore, or why people struggle, like in a sense of, trying to have their own mind and being independent thinkers and instead of group thinkers and all these things, a lot of it has to do with the things that we are consuming, okay? And so I'm going to talk about it today. Specifically, I'm going to go over the soul leak that nobody warned you about. I'm going to talk about how casual smacks and casual scrolling actually are of the same portal, and I'm going to break that down for you. I'm also going to break down for you how you can break the spell by understanding the science of yourself, which is one of the things that I always speak about. Hi, Joseph. And so, we're going to get into all of that and all that great stuff, okay? Excuse me, y'all, my nose is itching so bad. So we're going to go over that great stuff. So I'm really excited about today's topic. Again, for those who do not know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a energetics and identity mentor. And what I do specifically is that I mentor visionary women specifically to dissolve ceilings, okay, or invisible ceilings, so that they can embody their energetic and emotional authority, so that their leadership, their relationships, and their wealth reflect their true designs. So women come to work with me when they are ready to embody the fullness of themselves. Women come to work with me when they are ready to have the desires of their hearts for real, because those women are ready to do the necessary work internally to shift their experience. A lot of things that everything that you hear from me is rooted in scripture and is backed up by science. Everything. Okay, specifically the three sciences that I use, if we just want to get into science, it's several of them, but the tops are going to be physics. The top one is also going to be psychology, which some people may consider to be a soft science, and you're also going to learn biology. So all of these things, being able to sustain, being able to manifest things, being able to do all of that, like, it's literally scriptural and it's science. So if you are on the fence, or let's just say you're not a believer and you just believe in science, either way it go, you're gonna figure out that all these things coincide. Like I said, science backs up the things that I found in scripture, the way I've been able to support my clients with this information, and I also use neuroscience. So the way that I've been able to support my clients with this information, women who come to work with me make more money, women who come to work with me get healthier, women who come to work with me master their emotions, and they attract better community and romantic partners. So that's the work that I do. I love the work that I do. And I'm going to get into today's topic. But before I get into that, I want you to be very clear on something, because I want women to know who this live is for and who this live is not for. So if you're feeling like this is not for you, I want you to go ahead and find your exit, okay? But I want to go ahead and tell you who this is for and who this is not for. Number one, this live is for the woman who's tired of feeling overstimulated. Thank you, Lovey, who's tired of feeling uninspired and soul shattered all the time. This is for the woman who, how can I say this? She suspects that she has partnered with timelines and aesthetics and ideologies that don't belong to her, meaning that she has adopted principles of the world and she's not living in the fullness of her identity. And she knows that now. Okay? This is also for the woman who is ready to stop performing and to start calibrating her power. This is not for a woman who's looking for a quick dopamine hit or another cute aesthetic to mimic. Okay? If you're not ready to take radical responsibility for your energetic access points where you allow demonic influence to come into your space, then this is not going to be the space for you. If you want to outsource your power instead of study it and structure it, then this is not going to be for you. So send this to an amazing woman leader that you know, a visionary woman. When I say a visionary woman, this is a woman who understands that she has a vision. She has a vision for her life. If she wants to be married, she has a vision for that. If she wants to be a business owner, she has a business for that. If she is already in business and wants more, she has a vision for where she's trying to go. When I say, hi Lovey, when I say that I'm dealing with visionary women, I'm dealing with women who understand that they are going in a direction. I'm not talking about women who just YOLO in it. I'm not talking about women who are just mindlessly scrolling. I'm not talking about women who are disconnected from themselves. I'm talking about women who are really ready to do something different. Because whether you realize it or not, we have entered into a new era, and things are happening very fast. And you really have to pay attention, and you have to monitor one of your most important sacred currencies. And I just wrote an article about the cost of unconscious, I forgot what it is. It's basically where I'm talking about the cost of scrolling when you're just simply scrolling. And so I talk about what that looks like. And I think a lot of times people don't realize that they are participating in a ritual and in worship and all these different type of things. But I break that down specifically in that article so you can read more about that. And you can click the link in my bio to get access to my Substack. Also, with TikTok shifting and changing, make sure that you click the link in the bio to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss my videos, because I'm going to be spending a lot of time on Facebook, probably, YouTube for sure, some time on Threads, and I also will be doing a lot of writing in Substack outside of my community. So that's where you'll be able to locate and be able to find me, okay? So let's go ahead and get straight into it. What I'm about to give you is not empowerment fluff. Let me tell you, I am not an empowerment woman. I just want to get that out the way. I am not a empowerment type, okay? Be very clear on that. I disempower. Okay? And what does that mean when I say I disempower? I disempower you from the illusion and the lies you've been telling yourself and that society has been telling you. Like you need to be everything for everyone when in reality you don't. Okay? Thank you, my love. Like the fact that you don't have to hustle to become a 6 or 7 figure business owner. Those are all lies. Or the fact that you have to struggle to, in a relationship in order for it to be successful. I'm here to help you wake up from all of these illusions. So I'm not here to empower you. Where has empowerment gotten women in all this time? I really want you to think about that. Where has empowerment gotten women in all this time? All the self-help books, all the conferences and all these things. Where has it truly gotten women? Where has it really pushed women forward? See, these are the things that we really have to think about, and we have to start asking questions. Your life doesn't change because you go to a seminar. Your life changes when you make a decision. Your life changes when you understand the science of yourself and you use it to create a new reality. Today in this live, not only am I going to break down this information to you, but I'm going to break down to you how to use science to break this spell. Okay? So in understanding the science of yourself is how you break a lot of spells and how you cut off all of these access points. Okay? So it's so much. I'm so sorry to read that about your cousin. I'm sending you lots of prayers and lots of love. She died on her job. She worked so hard. That's what I'm saying. You will leave a job and they will have, and I've seen this. I'm telling you, I've seen it firsthand. You will leave, somebody will pass away at a job. They will have your position online in less than 6 hours. Less than 6 hours. You're not even touching the dirt. Your position is online. You need to understand that you need to value yourself because corporations and systems of this world do not value you, which is why you have to be very careful about what you submit to. And I even mean what you submit to when it comes down to your eyes and what you pay attention to. So let's get into it because like I said, this is not about to be empowerment fluff. This is literally about to be an energetic exorcism. It's about to, you're not just going to hear truth, you're going to reclaim your gates because you're told to guard your gates. And we are now in the season right now that if you don't guard your gates, you are not going to be able to tell what is the truth and what is a lie. You are not going to, because it's so easy to be influenced. Everything is simply by design. Attention is the highest form of societal currency because they understand the more they have your attention, the easier it is for them to manipulate your energy. Much like the longer you spend time giving your attention to somebody that you don't like, eventually you end up being played by that person because you start being like, well, they not that bad. They not this. They not that. The longer that you watch a sitcom or you watch a series, the more emotionally entangled you become with the characters. So what I'm teaching you and what I'm telling you is not only scientific, it's spiritual first, which is why everything that I give you is going to come from scripture. It's rooted in scripture and it's backed up by science. So if you don't believe, if you're not a believer like myself, take the science, but pay attention to how you're being played on the regular. And these are the things that we're missing, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the soul leak that nobody ever really warned you about. Because today, like I said, we're talking about you're not distracted, you're actually possessed. I'm going to talk about how casual content leaks your power and how it hijacks your authority. Because it's not creating thinkers anymore, you're creating followers. You got to even look at the terminology in the language that's even being used to seduce you and bring you in. Followers. Pay attention to that. And you should be paying attention to who and what you follow because when you follow a leader, the leader has influence over you. You understand? So you have to understand what is actually happening here. All right? So let's go ahead and get into the first aspect of it. You thought that you were just watching TV. You thought that you were just watching content online. You thought that, you were just scrolling. But in reality, you were agreeing with it. See, when you allow something to come into your gates, that means you agree with it. The exact same way when somebody knocks on your door and you open the door and welcome them in, that means that you agree with them coming into your home. It is the exact same thing when you are watching something, listening to something, whatever that looks like, it is exactly the same thing. You are coming into full agreement with that. Okay? Every scroll is an invitation. Okay? Every image is an imprint in your mind. You were taught as a woman, we're told not to have high body counts and not to do this and not to do that, right? You were taught to guard your body, but you were never taught to guard your gaze. Shalom says, you were never taught to guard your gaze. Because the thing about it is this, a lot of women don't guard their bodies well because they don't guard their gaze. You understand what I'm saying? And they don't really understand that. Thank you, my love. So that's the soul leak nobody warned you about. You're not just watching content. You're not just watching television. You're not just listening to music. You're not just doing these things. You are coming into agreement with this. This is exactly why when you listen to a song that talks about, when people want to lay down and do adult things, some people really like music. Why? Because the music gets them in the mood. Right? Hey, beautiful. It gets them in the mood, right? Because you're in agreement with what's being said in the song, so it activates something in you so you get activated in that space. That's basically what that is. So you're not just watching, reading, or listening to something, you're agreeing with it. Like I said, every single scroll is an invitation. Every image is an imprint into your mind. You were taught as a woman to make sure you got a low body count and guard your body, but you don't guard your gaze, which is extremely important. Literally had this conversation with my kids on Friday. All praise to the Most High. You literally are taught to guard your body, but not guard your gaze, when it's the way that you guard your body is to guard your gaze. Because they all are portals. Exactly, eyes are portals. And this is why I'm going to show you later in what I'm talking about in this space right here, the sacred mirror. Let me tell y'all something. Casual scrolling and casual smecks they both same thing. Same energy. And I'm going to break that down for you. Casual smecks and casual scrolling. Same thing. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's be real honest. You've been told to be careful who you sleep with, right? That's what they tell you. Because you're going to get soul ties, right? But nobody warned you that scrolling is a soul tie as well. Both smecks and content feel like presence, but they cost you authority. I'm going to say that again. Both smecks and content, they feel like presence, but they cost you authority. And I want you to think about it. The more you consume content on social media, the less you read, the more you lose your ability to think on your own. The more you use ChatGTP, seeking it out for all of your answers, the less likely you are to be a critical thinker. See, these are the things that you need. ChatGTP feels like presence. Casual smacks feels like presence. You know what I'm saying? It feel like you got something really going on, right? But it causes you to give up your authority. It gives up. When you are casually scrolling, you are giving up your thinking. You are giving up your ability to critically think. When you are having casual smacks, you are giving up your power. This is why they tell you that they act different once they hit. You lost your authority. You lost your leg up when you laid on your back. See, but in the moment of that casual smacks, it really felt like presence. It really felt like you were being valued. It really felt like it was a moment. But it was costing you something. It was costing you something. Here's your mirror. And I'm just going to tell you, you may not like what I say, but I'm just going to tell you anyway, okay? Here's the mirror between casual smacks and casual scrolling. See, you climax to a stranger's content the same way you did in his bed. You get your high orgasmic points from what somebody else is saying instead of tapping into the truth of who you are. And getting the high from the energy in which you were created, which was the kingdom of heaven. You don't get it from there. You get it from content. You climax from content, just like you did when you was with that man. And then after that, you feel creatively numb. Ooh. After you spend all that time climaxing to a stranger's content the same way you did in his bed, afterwards you feel creatively numb. You can't think because you got their ideas in your mind, and you can't focus because you got him in your head. See, all these things are connected. So your casual scrolling, your casual sexual encounters. I even had a young lady to tell me today, I posted this on Threads. I said how casual smacks and casual scrolling, they're both giving you a false sense of presence, but they cost you an authority. And the young lady said, unless you know how to transmute it. I had to explain to her, as a person who turns her wounds into gold before she wears them, powerful women who are in tune with the fullness of their power cannot afford to have casual smacks. Women who are in the fullness of their power cannot afford to casually scroll, because women who are in the fullness of their power are responsible for stewarding one of the highest valuable currencies that is so sacred, which is time. See, they don't have that to waste when you in the fullness of your power, because you came here for a reason. You got something to do. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. So, no. And I had to tell her, as an alchemist, sweetheart, I stand on what I said. There's nothing casual about my time. There's nothing casual about my body. There's nothing casual about my energy. In fact, little sister, there is nothing casual even about the exchange that I am having with you right now on Threads. See, everything that I do is intentional. Everything that I do is on purpose, because I understand the power that I have within me, and I understand that one of my major reasons here is not to manage time, but to steward time. Time cannot be managed. It is to be stewarded properly. But see, when you understand these things, you don't waste your high-level currency by spending time climaxing to somebody's content, or spending time climaxing in a bed with somebody who has no desire to be with you long-term at all. Here's another aspect of the mirror. You let timelines in through your gaze. They touch you spiritually, even if you never double tap. Can I tell you something, a secret? I am a nerd, and I love to study algorithms, right? And the most ultimate almighty algorithm is the one who created everything, right? And so I tend to study algorithms that mimic the Most High. And one thing about this TikTok algorithm that people don't realize, I'm going to read this one more time and then I'm going to explain it. You let timelines in through your gaze. They touch you spiritually even if you never double tap. Let me tell you something. Just because on this app, do you realize even if you don't tap a video, but if you watch it for a certain amount of time, thank you, my love, for these gifts, it has your attention and is clocking how long you watch it. It's going to send you more videos like that, even if you didn't like the video, even if you didn't tap it. Because what it says to the algorithm of TikTok is that regardless if you like the content or not, you engage with it. It pulled your attention in. It has your attention, so it's going to send you more things. More things like that. Because you may act like you don't like it, but your gaze said that it was welcome to come in. See, you don't really know the sorcery and the tricks and the different things that's being played on you. You think you're smarter than the algorithm, much like you think you're smarter than the almighty algorithm, which is why you continue to stay on the timeline when you can enter into a whole different parallel reality just by understanding the science of yourself. Understanding being rooted in the spiritual nature and the core of who you are. Okay? So people, I'm telling you, you just got to pay attention. You let timelines in with your gaze. Okay? You do. and they touch you spiritually because you are engaging with it. It has your attention. It has the highest form of currency in society. Even if you never double tap it, your brain, your mind has picked up on what you allowed for it to be engaged with. So for real. Casual smacks and casual scrolling. Same. So let's go ahead and get into the third aspect of this mirror. Casual smacks. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. Casual smacks and casual scrolling open the same portal. Did you know that? They open the same portal. What portal is that? Unguarded, imprinting, and residue heavy. So what that means is easy access, influential, and I'm going to leave a mark. See, this is why it tells you in scripture to guard your gates, because once you see something, you cannot unsee it. Therefore, it becomes a part of your reality, much like the truck. And I keep bringing this up, much like the truck in that movie almost 30 years ago, Final Destination 1, the truck with all the logs in it. Y'all ain't never had an accident with a truck and logs. So why are you moving and so scared every time you get behind it? Why? Because you watch Final Destination. You left your gate unguarded. And because that gate was unguarded, that image got imprinted. And now the residue is every time you get behind the truck with the logs, you move or you get scared and you ain't even never been in no accident with the logs. You don't even know nobody who has been in an accident with the logs, but you are scared of the truck. You got more faith in your ability to move around the truck with the logs than the one that created you, that could stop the logs from even touching you. All the logs could go around you. See, this is what, same portal. Casual smacks and casual scrolling open the same portal because you are unguarded, you are being imprinted on, and the residue gonna be heavy, baby. The residue always is heavy. Because how is it that after 25 years of that movie being out, people are still scared and they see that in their mind when they see a truck with logs on it? A movie got you that scared. And then y'all got the nerve to tell little children, oh, don't be scared of that. It's just a movie. Hell, you scared. You're scared. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. You scared. They get the scariness from you. They get it from you. You too, love. Okay? So that's the third aspect of the mirror. Let's get into the fourth aspect of this mirror. Okay, let's get into the fourth aspect of this mirror. Or let me just say this. The chaos that you feel in between the casual scrolling and the casual smacks, that's not hormonal. That's actually spiritual static. You worry about soul ties through smacks, but not worried about soul leaks through content. Same door, different disguise. Same door, different disguise. So then you may ask the question, well, how do I break this spell of, of this, of being possessed in this way? Because you're not distracted. You're not distracted. You're not distracted at all. You're possessed by what you are allowing into your gates. And that's just the truth. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. Again, you were warned about soul ties through smacks, but you were not. You were not warned about the soul leaks through content. Same door, different disguise. So if you're wondering how to break the spell, you break the spell by using the science of yourself. Everything that I teach, hi Lovey, is, like I said, rooted in scripture, backed up by science, right? The science that's going to be backing up what I'm speaking about today is physics. Okay, I'm a nerd, so I like this kind of stuff. So if you want to shift from casual scrolling, from casual smacks, which is causing you to be unguarded, imprinted on, and having residue of these horrible experiences or these horrible feelings, you're going to have to break the spell using the law of inertia. The law of inertia is the first law of Newton's laws of motion. This is science that I'm speaking to you now. Okay? The law of inertia states that an object in motion stays in motions. Okay? This is not just, science, or it's this is you creating your new reality. It is basically saying if you are stuck in a pattern, you are going to consistently be stuck in that pattern unless acted upon differently. You have to either apply, if you want difference, you have to apply force or influence. Okay? If you are a feminine woman, and it is best, or if you want to, how can I say this? If you want things to shift in your favor, then you need to understand the science of your feminine design, which is a part of you understanding your physics, which means that you understand the law of inertia basically states that nothing is going to change you, a circumstance, a situation, until something is acted upon with influence. This influence can look like a declaration. This influence can look like an energetic boundary. This influence can look like a firm standard. Those are all feminine ways to influence and to shift and to break the spell. Real simple, real easy. You have to make a decision to do something different. If you are in, for example, if you are in a relationship, I'm going to use this example. And please don't get in my comments talking about they still going to do this, they still going to do that. People going to do what they want to do. Take the example so you can get your understanding. Okay? For example, let's say a woman is in a relationship with a man. She has been with him for 5 years. We're going to use science to make this make sense, because the girl's not understanding why these things happen like this. So let's say she's been in a relationship with this man for 5 years and she wants marriage with this man, and she's been saying, I'm going to give 5 years is my timeline, and we coming up on 5 years and this and this and that and da 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 da, right? So she decides that she's going to put a gentle boundary. That's what you call a gentle boundary, right? So it may make him act a little different or a little bit better, but it's not really a firm standard. So when that 5-year mark comes and he doesn't propose to her, because what she's been doing is trying to use force to get him to marry her. And when you put too much force, this is another law of Newton's law of motion. Law number 2, the law of force and acceleration. If you put too much pressure and weight on something, you will create resistance. That is because you are trying to force it. This is science, I'm telling you. This is why this stuff don't work. So this is why you will see a man be with this woman for 5 years and they break up. And the next woman that he meets, he marries her in 2 months. Can I tell you, can I put you on game with something? That is the difference between you setting a gentle boundary and you having a firm standard. See, the young lady that he met and he married within 2 months stated that I'm only dating for marriage up front. The young lady who he married in 2 months stated, hey, I'm not wasting any time and any experience, so if you're here to play, then that's not really what I'm on. See, you can't call me. No, it's fine that you call people after 10 o'clock, but I don't answer the phone, after 9 p.m. See, firm standards accelerate movement. See, that is, again, the law of force and acceleration. The force that she chose to use was influence, not pressure. He either was going to rise to the occasion or he was going to fall off. She is okay with that because she is going to remain in alignment. And her remaining in alignment is her being in alignment with her physics and how she operates. See, this is why the math don't be mathing for a lot of y'all, because y'all weren't paying attention in science. Y'all was making fun of the nerds in science. But it's the scripture and the science that's going to save your life, though. That's the thing. It's your understanding. This is why I say to women, if you want to thrive on this earth, sweetheart, number 1, you need to understand spiritual law. That's how you're going to create your new reality. Number 2, you need to understand the science of yourself. Because if you understand the science of yourself, you'll know. When you understand the science of your feminine, you'll know how to deal with the masculine. When you understand the science of the feminine, you understand how to deal with money. You understand how money works. See, when you understand the science of yourself, you use physics and law to get what it is that you want and you desire, and it's all honorable because all of these things are scriptural. So you don't even have to snake nobody to get the desires of your heart, baby. You just need to get in alignment with the law. The problem is a lot of you don't know it, though. And that's the issue. That's the issue at hand. So when I say breaking the spell using the law of inertia, you're not distracted. A lot of you are not distracted. You are entranced. Your nervous system obeys chaos like it's law. That's why you continue to be in scenarios that have your nervous system doing this. You don't need to focus more. You need sacred force, which is your influence. Okay? This is the moment where you stop leaking and you start really commanding in your life when you understand the science of yourself. So let's talk about the science of yourself for a second. The science of self basically is frequency is physics. So everybody wants to talk about raising their vibrational state. And everyone wants to talk about changing timelines and parallel realities and creating worlds for themselves and breaking generational curses and doing all these things. But if you don't understand frequency, you don't understand your design, you don't understand your physics. And if you don't understand physics, you cannot create a new reality. It's going to be impossible. Because if you don't understand it, 9 times out of 10, you're violating the laws, which is why you're not getting the things that you desire. You're not seeing, things come into your life the way you desire for them to come into your life. So the science of self-frequency is physics. Frequency isn't woo-woo. It isn't, it's talk, people just be talking. Frequency is wiring. It's wiring. And if you don't believe me, look on Google and ask it to show you a picture of all the nerves in the body, the entire nervous system. It looks like a bunch of wires. It looks like a bunch of wires when you look at it. It's like a long stick with a bunch of wires coming out of it. Intuition isn't soft. It literally is sovereign tech. Y'all are out here talking to ChatGTP as if it is your life force when you literally have been given a companion, a comforter that you literally can run things by. You literally have access to all power in the kingdom of heaven within you, according to Luke 17:21. But you treating it like it's soft by not even listening. You be getting warnings about stuff and you not even listening. One of my mentees, my baby she went somewhere on a trip. And before she went on the trip, I had explained, we talked and I was asking how she was feeling about the trip. She's like, I don't really know, because I kind of feel like I shouldn't go. She started listing all these reasons of why she felt like she couldn't go. And I always tell my baby, if these things are coming to fruition, if these things are coming up, these are things you need to pay attention to. These are warnings. And you have to come into the space. She's still young. She's in her 20s. You have to come into the space of being able to trust what the Most High is giving you because you have been asking, right? So, because she wanted to appease her friends, she went on the trip anyway. And every single thing that she stated that she thought was going to happen on that trip happened on that trip. And she said, and I thought about you, because she said I should have went with my first mind. And I didn't ridicule her. I just said to her, I said, now what did we learn here? Because she said, I got to start trusting myself. I said, so what did we learn in this experience? That I need to start trusting myself more. I said, yes, I'll take it up a notch though. Not just I need to trust myself more. I need to know that I'm safe enough to trust what I'm hearing. Okay? And the thing is, a lot of times we hear things and we're like, I should have listened to myself. You need to develop and deepen your trust. Okay? The Most High gave you everything you need. I tell women all the time, women that come to work with me, they don't make more money and get healthier and attract better people and all that type of stuff because I'm just some woo-woo magician. It ain't even none of that. What it is that I guide you back to yourself because all of your answers are within you. I show you how to get there. That's my position. I walk you down into that space so you can see it, because once you see it, you're responsible for what you see. You can't unsee it. To whom much is given, much is required. Women tell me all the time how much they wish that, I'm so wise and I have all these gifts. Understand, for every gift that you see that I have, every piece of insight that hits your soul, understand that it came at a cost for me. At a cost for me. Even the session that I'm giving you right now, the content, the information I'm giving you right now, I told y'all my father passed away last Sunday. I didn't work or do anything last week. I surrendered everything to the Most High. I did nothing but read and study. And it has lit an even more fire underneath me to go deeper, to give the information that I'm here to give in a way that is digestible, right? Is digestible and applicable. One of the beautiful things and the beautiful gifts that the Most High has given me is my ability, my ability to be able to transmute pain into progress. And a lot of people, thank you, my love, for these likes, these gifts, and these comments. A lot of people are under the impression that I am so strong and I'm so this and I'm so that, and I'm not. The joy of the Most High is my strength, okay? That's first and foremost. And the second thing is that the Most High gave me the amazing gift of being able to transmute pain into forward progression. So it's not that I don't wear my wounds. I turn them into gold first. Then I wear them. So I'm going to pull away. I'm going to get rooted in the Most High because I understand the cycle of life. Thank you, sis. Yeah, I understand the cycle of life. I understand when one portal closes. My father died. That was a portal closing. I understand it's another one opening. And I understand my responsibility in that. Right? So I don't doubt what the Most High does and how the Most High moves. So I'm here to tell you, right? Thank you so much. I'm here to tell you what the Most High gives you with that knowing, with that understanding, is better than any AI tech. It is the most sovereign technology that you will ever know if you will simply tap into it. And it's beautiful. It'll save your life. It'll save you a lot of heartache, right? It sharpens your discernment. It keeps you ain't got to keep your head on the swivel when you tapped in. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be so real with you. Like, last week I didn't do any work. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I told the Most High I surrendered to you. So however money is going to go this week in business, I'm going to let it go. You know what happened this morning? And Dr. Eli is on here right now, right? I was like, Most High, however you want to do this. This morning, Dr. Eli sent me a message and said, hey, I just wanted to know if you still had a spot open for the Muse Activator because I want to come on in. I don't even worry about, when I tell you I don't worry about money, I don't worry about how things are going to go. And I'm telling you, I just am obedient. And last week, all I heard was just surrender. And I just surrendered. And she not the only one that's coming into the Muse Activator this week either. I already know it's another woman that's coming into the Muse Activator this week. See, when you are really rooted in the one that created you, you don't get distracted by the fact of, oh, how am I make money if I'm not doing this? The Most High always supplies all of my needs. I always sow the seeds I'm supposed to sow, and those things are going to come back to me because whatever a man sows, you shall reap. And I always make sure I sow value with my words, with my energy, with my intention, with my actions. And I never know when that value is going to be returned unto me, but I know that it's going to be returned unto me. So I don't worry. I don't worry. Which also keeps me in the level of obedience. So when I tell you, when you are being told something internally, understand that is the most sovereign of tech. It is the holiness in the highest form of tech. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You talk about accuracy. Chat don't have all the answers, but the Almighty do. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I live. I'm telling you what I've done to be able to lose 100 pounds, build a six-figure business, multi-six-figure business from the ground up. Right? Everything I teach is rooted in scripture and backed up by science. Period. Okay? Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and comments. So when I tell you frequency ain't woo-woo, it's your wiring, it is your wiring. It literally tells you in scripture, keep your mind on things that are above in Colossians 3:2. That's one way to immediately shift your frequency. Get your mind off this mind and stuff. If I was sitting right here worrying about money, I wouldn't even be able to really grieve and really be able to. I'm not worried about no money. The Most High gonna supply. I'm only gonna show up when I'm supposed to show up. I tried to work last week. In the middle of me working, I said, Most High, this feels fake. I'm finna stop. I never want to be fake in my delivery. I never want to be fake in my speech. I never want to act like I am up when I'm not in the space when I'm up. I'm just going to surrender. I'm not here to. I always talk to you guys about performing. I don't perform. I am who I am. Right? So frequency isn't woo-woo. It's rewiring. Intuition, the voice, and everything that you're hearing, it's not soft. It's sovereign tech. Holy Spirit is real. Realer than the realest. I'm telling you. And you guys know that I always talk about, my program is called the Muse Activator. And the reason why this program is so special to me is because it allows me to be able to support women on the journey that I had to go through to get in this space, right? Of where I am, of embodiment, right? Of really magnetizing. There's nothing I can't magnetize into my reality. Understanding the things that I know from scripture and the things I know scientifically. I really see how society has been playing on our top from the beginning. They've been using scripture and science to play with us. I'm not even kidding, to play us. They know us better than we know ourselves, and that's a problem. Okay? So with the Muse Activator, I bring you into activating your inner muse. Well, what is a muse? I believe that all women are muses. A muse is a source of inspiration. A muse is walking art. Women are walking art. When Eve got here, Adam was so bombarded he could barely even speak. He was just like, that's me. Flesh of my flesh, bone of my. I mean, like, what else can I say? She is art. This man sat and named all the animals and everything else and all of that, and he wasn't amazed. He had actually got bored with that. But when he saw her, thank you, my love, for these gifts. That was a different kind of ball game. Women are walking art. Women are sources of inspiration. Women have caused, calm, calamity, war, and so much, right? When you activate your inner muse, let me tell you the things that you inspire, okay, that are very important if you are a woman in business, or if you are a woman who is seeking community or even seeking partnership in the area of romance. A muse inspires people to invest, corporations to invest, companies to invest, societies to invest. And if you don't believe me, I'll even use someone as simple as someone like Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe had the entire world invested in her. The entire world invested in her. Marilyn Monroe ain't even her real name. Wasn't even her real name. She activated her inner muse, and people became invested. How did they become invested, Elle? How do people become invested in muses? I'm going to tell you. Number one, they investigate. That's the first thing. See, when you are a mystery, When you have mystique, when you have je ne sais quoi, when you have an air, an essence about yourself that is just different, and people just are magnetized to you and they just don't understand why, it makes them investigate. And if you don't believe me, why you keep looking at that girl story? Why do you go and look at that girl's story? He liked her picture and now you're in her story. You're investigating because he was inspired to like the post and now you are, huh? See, all of this, it just, it coincides. Okay? So when you think about someone wanting to investigate you, that means that they have to spend their time, their energy, and their attention focused on you. This is what happens when you are a muse. You inspire people to investigate you. Now it's a double-sided coin now. Hold tight. It's a double-sided coin. Because the thing about it is this, right? Because it's a double-sided coin, you will have people who will investigate you because they are so inspired by you in a way that they want to learn more. And you will also have people who will investigate you because they are obsessed. On the other side, they are repelled by you, but yet they can't stop watching. Kind of like a bad wreck. You know it's bad. You know you need to be paying attention to the road, but you just can't seem to take your eyes off of it. Same energy. Same energy. Okay? So you have to understand that when you activate your inner muse, people are going to investigate you. One, they're going to see if you are who you say that you are. Exactly. Like trolls that come in my lives. They're going to investigate you. Once they get done investigating you using their time, their energy, and their attention. And remember, let's go back to science now. Let's go back to science, the nerd aspect of me for a second. Wherever your attention is focused at, that's where your energy is going to go at. Emotion is energy in motion. This is how you get attached to sitcoms and characters in series, because you're giving time, you're giving your attention, therefore your energy is going there. And so the more attention you give to something, the easier it is to manipulate your emotions, your energy and motion. Because your energy and motion is focused right here, so I can do what I want to do with it because I got it in my possession. So when you activate your inner muse and people investigate you using their time, their energy, and their attention, the ones who are impressed, the ones who are heavily invested, that's when they start spending their money. That's when they start spending their money. You know how people say, if a man doesn't like you, he don't like you if he's not spending any money? I'm trying to tell you something. See, you can use this in life, business, and in relationships. I'm trying to tell you something. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. He not investing in you. He's not investigating you. That means he's not taking any time, any energy, and attention to see what you like. When you're working at a corporation and they're not investigating you to promote you or to put you in a better position, that means that they're not taking the time, the energy, and the attention to focus on you to see. That means that they're not inspired. They're not inspired. And it's okay if people are not inspired by you. Understand this. Everybody ain't going to be inspired by you. Don't get it confused. But what you need to realize is that when you realize that you are not a source of inspiration enough to inspire investigation, enough to inspire investment, which is time, energy, attention, and money, then you need to understand that this corporation or this individual does not see the value. Companies and men invest in what they deem to be valuable. And corporations and men only take care of things that they have invested in. So what we do in the Muse Activator, okay? What we do in the Muse Activator in my 8-week program is that we activate your inner muse. And when we activate your inner muse, you will see the elevation in investigation. You will see the elevation in investment. Because you first have recognized and articulated and embodied the value within yourself. Game recognizes game, value recognizes value. You understand? So if you are not being invested in, if you are not being investigated, it is because you are not inspiring to that environment or that individual. I hope you're catching that. Because this ain't something that you just, don't even just take it for the whole man thing. How you do one thing is how you do all things, sweetheart. So when women come to work with me in the Muse Activator, they come into the fullness of embodiment. Embodiment is the true activation of investigation and investment. Because people want to know how you became who you are. You ever see somebody transform their entire life? See, and let me tell you something. When you are watching someone on a weight loss journey, right? Who used to be really heavy and now they've gotten themselves all the way down. You are inspired. You are so inspired that you invest your time, your energy, and your attention into their story of how they did that, all these things. And now they're selling a product that's teaching you how to do it. And guess what you're doing? Spending your money. Spending your money. You didn't even come here to buy nothing. You didn't even come in here to buy nothing. You went in the store, you weren't even finna buy nothing, but you saw something that inspired you, and you start looking at it longer time, and you start focusing in on it, attention. Then you start reading more about it, manipulating your energy. Next thing you know, here go the money. I ain't telling you nothing that ain't real. The science of self, your frequency is physics, baby. And when you activate your inner muse, sweetheart, the muse studies her own energy like she is a sacred scientist. She studies her energy like she is a sacred scientist. Okay? Energetic integrity is a structure, not a vibe. See, because the muse has energetic integrity, she is not going to invest anything or give access to anything that has not been investing in her. You don't get access to the muse without investment. And investment requires investigation. So if you're not intrigued enough to ask me about me, to investigate what it is that I desire and what I need, it means you have no plans on investing. See, y'all got to start paying attention to the science. Because it be all up in your face. It be all up in your face. When they say that men are simple, this is what's simple, science. Understanding the science of yourself is it makes it very simple, and very easy for you to deal with the masculine because you know how. And you're able to recognize the masculine in a man. You're able to recognize when the man is leaning more so into his right brain, feminine energy. You'll be able to catch that up front and see if that aligns with you. You won't waste any time. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention. Here's what the woman who is interested or who comes to work with me, what she really desires, right? These are a couple of things that the women that come to work with me in the Muse Activator desire. And they end up achieving, once they come into this space. They desire clarity that doesn't collapse. Meaning that they desire to be very clear on what it is that they want and what it is that they need and what their standards are, what their expectations are, what their boundaries are. They're very clear on that. And they don't collapse when a fine man comes and says, can I come pick you up on a Thursday when he is just calling you on Wednesday. If your standard is they are to call you and make plans with you on Sunday, a muse doesn't collapse and say, yeah, I'll go with you, pull up. That ain't what she's saying. When a muse is operating in business and she says that there are no refunds, okay, only reschedules, and the person doesn't reschedule, and they call you and they say, hey, can we still do this? Can we still do that? The policy is the policy. You don't collapse. See, when you got clarity, baby, you got command. I mean, you got command, you got power, sweetie. And you don't collapse. The second thing that the women that come to work with me desire, but they achieve in the Muse Activator is creativity without post-performance crashes. This means that when she creates something, I don't care if it's an experience, I don't care if it's a product, I don't care if it's a poem. She ain't apologizing for what creatively she has set up for herself. She's not apologizing for what she has deemed necessary for herself. She's not doing that. She's not doing that at all. She's not. Creativity without post-performance crash. Did I do this right? Is this good enough? And yada, yada, yada. I said what I said and I did what I did. I was aware of the experience I wanted to create before I started creating. I had a vision for my crochet hat before I started crocheting. I don't need you to tell me it's cute. I knew it was cute before I made it because I had the vision in my mind. Unapologetically create. Okay? That's what my clients achieve and desire. So also the ideal woman who is coming to work with me desires clean confidence and sacred discernment. When I say clean confidence, this means that this woman is very clear on who she is. She's very clear on who she is and how she operates, and the belief in herself is unmatched. It is unmatched. And the discernment that she has is that when she feels things and she sees things, she's wise enough to investigate because she's so in tune with her inner muse. Like I said, she's a sacred scientist. So if the math ain't math and if something feels off, she's going to pause in her feminine energy and she's going to investigate because that is what muses do. That's what muses do. The fourth thing that a woman who will coming to work with me in the Muse Activator, she is going to be looking for legacy impact without leaking. She wants to create great things without burning herself out. She wants to enjoy the fruit of her labor. If she wants to create an amazing business that is successful, she does not want the business to work her. She doesn't want the business to work her. She wants the business to work itself. Thank you, my love. I love those. She wants the business to work itself, and she just simply wants to create. She just wants to be in obedience. She doesn't want to leak. She doesn't want to miss time with her family. She doesn't want to miss time with her children. She doesn't want to miss these things to work. She wants to create things, but still be able to thrive. Okay? This woman also wants visibility without fragmentation, meaning that she doesn't want to have to, do a work. Right? She doesn't want to have to do a work and shred herself. You don't have to separate, Ellen the mom, Ellen the daughter, Ellen the CEO, Ellen the, the friend, Ellen the snowboarder, whatever. You don't have to separate. You're not a monolith. Be who you are. Let me tell you something. I am Elle the CEO. I am Elle the daughter. I am Elle the girl from New Orleans. Okay? I am Elle the intellectual. It's all of these things are me. I'm not separating that. Depending on where I'm at and how I'm feeling today, ain't no telling which side gonna come out. But you're gonna get it all because it's me. I don't need to filter myself off. You can be visible and be in the fullness of yourself. These are the things that we need to be really clear on. Also, the women that come to work with me desire sensual power that feels safe in her body. A lot of women are not comfortable with their sensuality. And a lot of women confuse smexuality with sensuality. It's not the same thing. Just like a lot of women, confuse being smexy with having smex appeal. Those things are not the same thing. Okay? What a lot of you think you think that you want peace, when in reality you need energetic purity. You need to clean up. You're not going to have peace until you clean up. Like I said, I wear my wounds like everybody else. And when my dad died last Sunday, I didn't just grieve a person, right? I grieved a timeline. I detoxed an entire timeline. You're going to have to catch it later, Faith, because I got on a time schedule. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I detoxed an entire timeline. Okay? Grief stripped the noise. I really couldn't scroll and be present. I couldn't perform, which I wasn't trying to do. All I could do was sit with the raw, real grief and still be sovereign in that. But it was in that stillness, right, that I re-met my voice. My creativity surged again, and my understanding deepened, not from a place of performance, not from a place of feeling like I got to do this for my community, but from a place of surrendering in the presence of the one that created me. So before, where I may have been feeling scattered and reactive and overstimulated, which is what I kind of was feeling a little bit right before my dad passed away, to now going into feeling or having structured clarity, filtered presence, and pure creative stages, I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful. And I can say that to you because a muse doesn't beg for clarity, okay? She becomes the filter. And this is what happens inside of the muse activator. It's a sacred rewiring of your energetic gates. The 3 results that you'll see inside that'll be really strong, thank you, my love, for you to pay attention to. Number 1 is that you stop consuming, how can I say this? You stop consuming everything and you start filtering through your own frequency. You start realizing this is when you start going through the things like, I'm not watching this crap because it's not helping me. I'm going to start watching this because it's actually helping my mind change. Okay? The second thing that ends up happening is that you detox chaos. And you detox chaos by not dimming your power, but by refining it. Your edge stays sharp, but clean, which is really important. And then the third thing that you gain from this, and these are just 3 results. These are not even all of them. But the third result that a lot of women get when they come to work with me in the Muse Activator is that your structure, right? Or you structure your sensuality without shame. Without shame. Because your body was never the problem, honestly. Your body was never the issue. I don't care, they try to make it sound like we fast and all this stuff growing up. Your body was never the issue. It's always been about access points. Your body is all about access points. It's all about what you allow. Okay? So you're not chaotic, if you were wondering. You might just be over covenanted in the things that you are engaging in. The casual smacks, the casual scrolling. You're too in agreement with those things. You're not confused. You're under the influence. Some may be digmatized. See, I'm just saying for what it is. Other ones, digitally distracted. So, hi, lovey. You're under the influence of these things. Because when you have casual smacks and when you casually scroll, you have to give up some form of your authority. You do. You do. So you're not confused about him. You're under the influence of what he's doing to you and what you're allowing to be done to you. Get it? You're not broken either. You're just broadcasting too many frequencies at once. Okay? Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Your power is not missing. It's literally being rented out by algorithms and aesthetic ideals that honestly you never really agreed to anyway. So the bottom line is, I need you to understand is that power is not performed. It's not something that you do. Power is calibrated. And this is what we do in the Muse Activator. So if you're interested in the Muse Activator, if you're wanting to reclaim your energetic gates, because it tells you in scripture to guard your gates, it tells you to guard your heart above everything else because from it flows life. So if you're in a space where you want to embody and activate your inner muse, you want to guard your energy, you want to magnetize things into your reality, you want to shift into a parallel reality that is what you truly desire, then the Muse Activator is open. It's an 8-week program. It is $2K. You can get it with Klarna, Firm, and Afterpay. We are technically starting on the 31st, but because I had to take a week off, I may end up pushing that back just by 1 week. So if you are interested, I have 3 women that are currently in the program. I'm probably going to take about 5, I think 5 or 6 at max. So that means that there are going to be 2 or 3 more spots available. This community, this is a, how can I say it? It is, yeah, it's a container for women who are in the fullness of their power, who are ready to embody it. It's for the women who are done playing small. It's for the women who are not willing to shrink. It's for the women who are really ready. And I'm really excited. I have a great cohort that I'm getting ready to close out, and I'm really excited about the women who are coming in. I'm only going to have, after this, I'm only going to have 1 more round of the Muse Activator. So if you're interested, you definitely want to get to me now. You can do a $500 deposit to hold your spot. If that is what you want to do, you have to DM me the word spot so I can send you a link to hold your spot. Once you get that link and you make your payment, you're going to get your contract. You're going to get your first set of recalibration work, and then you have to schedule a one-on-one session with me. When we have our one-on-one session, from there, you're going to get what I like to call the Muse codes. And these codes are your initiation to activation. Very powerful experience. It's 7 days before you come into the program. You are going to go through a Muse code every single day, and it is going to shift your experience and support you in sharpening your discernment. Okay? So, I'm really excited about the Muse Activator. If you are interested in other products and services that I have, you can click the link in the bio to get more information about those. I have the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint in there, and I also have Monetize Like a Muse in there as well currently. I'm going to be making some shifts on some things, so if you want those things, if you specifically, the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint is going to go up in price, so if you want that, you might want to go ahead and get it. Why it's $200, and you can get it with Klarna, Firm, and Afterpay. It is probably going to go up to about $397 because I'm going to add another element to it. Okay? So, any questions before I get ready to get off here? Because I got to get off here in a minute. So, any questions do you guys have about any of the things that we talked about today? Excuse me. Any of my content. Also, if you're a reader and you want to learn sacred, feminine, powerful knowledge, then I suggest that you subscribe to my Substack if you are a reader. I drop a lot of information over there. People who are my paid viewers, they really get the juice. To become a paid member over there is $22 a month. And for the years is $222, and if you become a founding member, it's $250. And there are perks and different things that you get with each one of those. $250. And there are perks and different things that you get with each one of those. You can click the link in the bio to get more information about that. I'm going to hold to see if I see any questions. And make sure that you're following me on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's where I'm going to be once all this TikTok jazz, finally fizzes or whatever it's going to do. I'm going to be spending a lot of my time over there, and a lot of time writing, and a lot of time in my community. I have been kind of telling y'all for a while that I was going to be making some transitions on some things. I'm telling you now, my goal, and the only thing that I plan on doing for a while, is speaking, writing, and teaching. So I'm not going to be as accessible. You are going to have to invest your time, your energy, your attention, and your money if you want transformation, because that's how it works. I've helped over hundreds of women. Lives have been changed, consistently being changed. So you're going to have to find me in those spaces. I will only be speaking in spaces that I am called to speak in, because some of those spaces are becoming available for me. I will only be teaching in communities and at retreats and things. And I will be writing across the board. So if you want to work with me, you might want to catch me now, because I can tell you things are changing. And with my dad's death, that kind of just lit a bit of an additional fire on some things. So click the link in the bio. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to anything that you need to subscribe to. Get what it is that you need, but most of all, get an understanding and get some real transformation. You can only get so much from my free content. You are not going to see real results until you get in the room with me and you allow me to, dig deeper so we can really get into some things. So I can help you achieve the results that you're looking for. Because if I can't do nothing else, baby, she gonna get results. Okay? I am the results queen. Ask about me. All right? Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to get off here because I actually cooked me some good food. And I'm about to go eat that. She said, I have not invested in anything with L that is not giving me results for real, for real. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. All praise to the Most High. I appreciate that so much. Really grateful. Let me screenshot that. Make sure I ain't looking crazy, because I be screenshotting stuff and I be looking crazy in the camera. Okay, I think I got it. So yeah, but I love y'all to pieces. My plan is to go live tomorrow, so we'll see. But get on my email list, because I'm going to be writing quite a bit, and I'm going to send an email to my audience, and it is going up on YouTube. It should be playing probably around 6 something tonight, Central Standard Time. So make sure that you're over there. All right, I will see y'all soon. Have an amazing magnetic Monday. I hope that y'all truly have a great week, and I will see y'all soon. Peace, y'all.